Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be sharing with you a family recipe, and I've tweaked it a little bit from the original. My mom used to make this thing called a potato pancake when I grew up, and really it was just potatoes that we usually had left over from like mashed potatoes that usually went stale the next day, and it was flour that she made into a dough, rolled out, and then we dry sauteed on a pan till it was like nice and brown on each side. But the kicker of that recipe is that we usually would take melted butter and use one of those like paint utensils and like paint on the melted butter, and then put in sauerkraut, roll it up like a taco, and eat it. And if you would have asked me 10, 15, 20 years ago what my favorite meal was, I would have told you that was like my favorite thing my mom made. So now being whole food plant-based, a lot more cautious and concerned for my health, I wanted to recreate this recipe and make it whole foods, oil-free, and delicious. So we're gonna make a sweet potato flatbread. And I call it a flatbread because we really use this as like a naan bread or a flatbread. We don't really use this as like, when people think of pancakes, you think of breakfast. So that's why I named it sweet potato flatbread. And it's really simple. It's only 2 ingredients. So the first ingredient is sweet potatoes that you've baked, boiled, steamed, whatever you did to cook them. And then it's just oats. I used rolled oats that I pulsed in a high-speed blender, and it made a flour. And so it's just sweet potato and oats, and it's really simple. So the whole way to do this is also very simple. I'll have it all in the description box below, but it's literally 1 cup of warm or hot sweet potatoes to 1 cup of your oat flour, and that's it. So I have my sweet potato right here. It's 1 cup. I'm going to move it to a large mixing bowl. It's warm still, which is, you still want it to be warm or hot when you do this, so right when they come out. I've just peeled the skin and threw them away. And then what we're going to do is we're going to put 1 cup of our oat flour that I've made this morning. So all I did, like I said, was pulse oats. Super simple. I'm just kind of loosely measuring a cup. Put it all in there. And then you can use your hands. I like to use my hands for this. So with clean hands, you just want to kind of mix everything together till it makes a dough. And it's that simple. Like, when you learn how to do this, you're going to want to make this all the time. My husband particularly isn't a huge sweet potato fan. He won't really eat them if I make them. He wouldn't pick them out. But he surprisingly loves this flatbread. So he gets that nutrition in without actually eating them. And it doesn't really have like a strong sweet potato taste. So if you're not a fan of them, still give it a try. You could also do this with a regular white potato as well. I've never tried it with like a Japanese sweet potato or anything like that, but if you do, you can always leave me a comment below and let me know. So I'm just kind of working in, folding in the flour, making sure it's well combined with my hands, and it's really, really simple. Just kind of like kneading the dough like you would bread. Once your sweet potato and oats start to form together, you'll notice it forms kind of like a dough. You can separate this evenly. I usually get around 6 really nice flatbreads. I even went ahead and made some. They're a little bit delicate, but they turn out great. And how I usually do this is like I said, is split them up evenly. You can kind of eyeball, it doesn't have to be perfect. I'm just going to take a little bit just to show you guys how to do this, but just put it aside. What I do is I roll it into a ball, make it into a patty, and I coat the side that I'm going to roll this in with oat flour. So make sure it's all set up nice. Make my patty, and then I'm going to coat it into oat flour. You can also coat the back of it if you want. Sometimes I do that. Sometimes you can coat both. Depending on what surface you're working for, if you don't want it to stick, I would coat both. And then just take your rolling pin. I like to just do this just to kind of get the first shape, because this is a very delicate flatbread, so you don't want it to fall apart. So just like lightly kind of move it to the shape that you want. Usually it's like 1 or 2 movements. And then all I do is use my fingers to kind of stretch out where I want it if it's a little bit more clumpy in one area. This one looks pretty good. And then use a spatula to kind of take it off of your surface, and you have your flatbread. So this is a perfect way of making something to dip in hummus, something to roll up your vegetables with, to add to any dish. We adore this recipe. So that's it. So you're just gonna keep repeating until you have a bunch of flatbreads. You can make them as thick or thin as you'd like. I like to make them really thin. I find that it makes it brown really nicely on each side. It gives it that perfect taste. But I have made them thicker in the past and it works great. And before I move on and show you how to cook these, another note is that you can add spices to this. So you want to make this more of a breakfast flatbread, add some cinnamon. You want to make this more Italian, add those seasonings. You can add cumin, rosemary, parsley. We've done a ton of different seasonings with this. The Savory Blend by Dr. Giger's How Not to Die cookbook is fantastic in this, and we change it up all the time. So there's so many different ways. I would make it plain first. That's how I'm making it today. But when you're in the mood for something different, or if you get sick of them, you can always change it up. I'm gonna go show you how to cook this, and that's it. This is like the simplest, easy recipe that I know you guys are gonna wanna make. So let's move over to my stovetop and I'll show you how to make these. Sweet potato flatbreads ready to be cooked. So all I do is carefully, really carefully, because they're delicate, peel one off, okay? And actually what I'm gonna do before I do that is I'm gonna heat my skillet on high. I wanna make this really hot. This is only gonna take like a couple seconds on either side, just until it gets brown. So I would say like 30 seconds on each, or maybe even less depending on how brown you like it. So just kind of eyeball it at the beginning, watch it, see when it changes, but it goes really quick, so don't walk away from this step. Just gonna put the first one on. Like I said, it's kind of like a pancake, but we're gonna call it a flatbread for this. You could totally eat it like a pancake if you wanted to. This is such an easy recipe, and I know you guys are gonna love it. You could also do it with a white potato. I haven't tried it with any other variations besides just the sweet potato. Like I haven't tried it with a Japanese sweet potato. But if you do, make sure you leave me a comment. Let me know how you like it, because I'm always up for trying something different. And this definitely won't stick to your pan, so don't have to worry about that. Like I said, you just kind of heat your skillet on high, watch it, don't walk away. As soon as the browns, flip it to the other side, and then you can start making your pile of finished ones as you keep going. They also reheat really well. How to know if your flatbread's done is it should start getting these little brown spots. This one I did a little bit too long, so I'm gonna show you. That's like too far. It's still okay, we're still definitely gonna eat it, but I let that one go for a little bit too long. So after your one starts going, that's a good size. You just kind of want to play around with how crispy you like it, or how brown you like it. So I'm just gonna keep going. It happens really quick once it starts. You just kind of keep an eye on it, and as soon as you see these brown spots, you can flip it. But you can see that it's really holding up well now, and just keep going. And they're finished. So I still have to do a whole bunch because I'm batch cooking, but like I said, you just go ahead and put them on high. The first one usually takes around 30 seconds on each side, and then after that it could even be like 10 seconds on each side. You just kind of have to watch. And they just want to get brown to the point where you're happy. So they're still soft, they taste great, you can eat them on their own. You don't need to put hummus on them or anything else. We just love having them. They store really well for up to a week. They're great if you need to travel, to feed your kids. I just think they're such a great treat. So we call them our sweet potato flatbreads. You may call them something else. I'm sorry if I had said sweet potato every time. It's like something I consciously know that it's sweet potato, but you know, it's just how I say it. So sorry if that annoyed anyone, but I hope you guys try this recipe. It's super easy, it's delicious. We've been making it every week lately. Great way to sneak in this nutrition. If you're not a fan, still try it. I love them. It's just a great alternative way to eat them, and oats are wonderful for you. You get everything in. So we're gonna go enjoy this. I'm gonna make a whole bunch for the week. I will see you guys next time. Make sure you are subscribed, you like the video, you comment if you made these. Again, These just are so yummy. The outside of it gets a nice little like crispiness, but it's still soft. If you taste the dough before you make it, you're definitely going to get more sweet potato flavors. Once you bake them or once you dry fry them, it kind of goes away, that strongness. So they're just really, really good. Add seasonings, have fun. Let me know how you make it. I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching. Have a great St. Patrick's Day. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.